All right, y'all. It's about that time to give the system a haircut. Perhaps its final major haircut before fall and winter sets in. Um, long story short, if you don't know by now, we had a pretty intense winter last year. A lot of farmers in this area lost a lot of things. A lot of home gardeners lost a lot of things, a lot of plants. So I'm gonna experiment this year with pruning somewhat drastically, but not as drastically as I would midsummer. Just to free up enough space to walk around, because as you can see, it's pretty jungly. The Mexican sunflowers are coming back full force. I recently cut back this napier because I just couldn't even get in here. So you can see what I'm working with. It's a lot of dense cover. The little critters are loving it. I've been seeing little frogs everywhere. Their dragonflies just love hanging out on all the different leaves. Oh, a frog just jumped over there. But it's getting a little hard to walk through. I can imagine some of the baby trees are getting a little bit stifled and a little bit maybe way too shaded out. Probably not much, but you know, it would help to get a little bit of airflow in here for this last sort of bits of summer coming into fall. At least open up a little bit of area for me to walk through. But I'm just wanted to make this video to show kind of the before and after of a late summer pruning, with the goal of letting enough airflow and bringing down some organic matter to feed the system, but not so much where it's just completely bare. As in, maybe not cutting the Mexican sunflower all the way down to my feet, but cutting it down around my knees so that it has a little bit of head start to regrow for fall and winter. So you can see I've pruned some stuff, some canopy stuff in expectance of the winter. So this moringa was chopped back about a week ago, maybe a little bit more. It's all starting to come back. So in about 2 months, this will be hopefully a fuller canopy again, giving a little bit of climate control to the system once fall, winter comes back around. So like I said, it's getting a little bit hard to walk in. Things are a little bit too lush. Not that it's a bad thing, but yeah, I'm gonna do an after video to show you what I mean. But just wanted to give you guys a little walkthrough of the jungle. I'm getting soaked right now because of all the condensation on the Mexican sunflower and all the plants. It's getting really hard to walk through in here. The jack beans need some pruning too. So not bad for a month and a half of growth. I last pruned this on the 15th or so of July. This is September 2nd today, so about a month and a half. But all right, let's get back to you guys soon. Do a little bit of pruning, but not too much. Just enough. All right, so I switched up the idea a little bit, and I actually did go full blast on cutting down the Mexican sunflower. I was doing the math in my head, and I got really good growth out of a month and a half. So it was a month and a half since I last cut Mexican sunflower, and it was at a perfect height. And according to last year's records, the Mexican sunflower started flowering around mid to late October. So that's about a month and a half from now. So I figured if I just brought it all down, it would leave me at a pretty good height where I want it for fall, winter. So I left certain aspects of the eastern hedge, this Napier grass I want to establish. So now that this Mexican sunflower is cut at about knee height, this Napier grass is gonna boom in growth, and that'll give me sort of double the insulation on this eastern edge, because this is where a lot of those cold winds could come in from. And this is kind of pretty much how it looks post manage. Nice little haircut. The Mexican sunflower, it grew a lot faster than I thought it was going to be. So another reason why I decided to go ahead and just whack everything clean was because I got a big load of mulch in, and it's a lot and I need to move it. So I figured I can put all this stuff on the ground. You can just see how much material that is, and then come through these next couple days and lay that thick mulch. It's that palmy type of mulch too, so it's just like really thick, and it'll just decompose this stuff really nicely. And after I put some of that mulch on, everything's just gonna boom faster. I kind of was going based off what I remember last year's the growth cycles being, but now that the system's way more fertile than last year's, the regrowth period is a lot quicker, so I can cycle the nutrients a lot faster. So you can see here I placed all the Mexican sunflower in between these two beds, so that I'm gonna put all that mulch on top, and I'm gonna kind of make a little pathway there. But I mean, and good example is the jack beans. Look at how thick the jack beans are. Usually I see them in like agroforestry videos in Brazil and stuff, and they're using them to just start the system when there's absolutely no fertility. But there's a lot more fertility now. Look at how thick it is. It's snapped on its own weight. That's how vigorous the stuff is growing. So I've been learning that I have to I can't be afraid to chop it down, even though I know the fall and winter is coming, because I'm sped up a little bit because there's a lot more fertility here compared to last year. So pathways are a lot more accessible. I can come in here now with wheelbarrows of mulch and help further decompose this material. But I'll go ahead and just do a little walk around so you can see the difference. I cut everything about knee height. And this is only for the east side. The west side over there is on a kind of a different schedule. So this is just for the east side. The turmerics are gonna have some nice little bit of sunlight to work with. Feels a lot less humid in here. The air can easily flow in here now. Feels good. I was a little nervous as I started hacking off all the Mexican sunflower because I was getting flashbacks of last winter. But I feel like it was a good move. Feel like my primary plants are gonna take advantage of the last little bits of summer. Get that airflow, get that sun. Look at this sugar apple. Now that it's getting fed on both sides, and I could come through with wheelbarrows and mulch a lot easier now, and just keep the fertility going. But that's the gist of it. Late summer, chop and drop, getting ready for the cold, getting ready for the dry season. Gonna get a lot more material on the ground now that I have that huge freaking mulch pile to move. Yeah, let's hope this tactic works out, and let's hope this winter's a mild one. Oh yeah, more Napier grass to establish for the barrier. And I tipped the the Mexican sunflowers that I planted this year around waist high so it can regrow from here. But that's it. I'll see if I do a video on the west side once that's ready. I think I'm gonna do a different tactic for that. I might just tip them when they start flowering, or maybe just, I'm not quite sure actually, but I'll report back on that soon. But yeah, nice and open, and see what happens.